Hey guys, Zuna here. I'm gonna be doing a quick little video guide on Butcher and the talents I make and his spot in competitive play. At the moment at 1, it's usually you get Invigoration, but sometimes you'll get block against like Zeratul or something because most of his burst is from auto attack damage. So one I really like to get Invigoration because more than like 1 second off of cooldown isn't like a lot more damage. It's just that it helps you chase because his slow falls off pretty hard unless you have the 16 talent. So at 1 we're gonna pick up Invigoration. Let me level up more.
Choose a talent.
I wish they had a level 20 button. Alright, going at level 4. I feel like at level 4 you have two choices. You either have hamstring length, which is really good because it makes it so that your, well, not really poke, but like your range is increased a lot. And the second one is unrelenting pursuit, which is 40% impact cooldown reduction, which means on 20 seconds it will drop down to 12 seconds. So it's really strong, and especially with heroes like Tyrande that have you can only kill someone when her stun is up. So like if you have someone like Tyrande or Jaina, then the unrelenting pursuit is really good because you just need to have as much initiation as possible. That way, every time their blizzard or their stuns up, you can get a kill. It's really good for roaming early game too, and you'll be able to get 2 E's off during a fight. But if not, if you don't really have the follow up and you're just like a regular carry and then you just have lots of supports to keep you up, I would recommend Flail Axe instead because you need it for chasing. Alright, so I'll just pick up Flail Axe for now. At 7, I feel like there's some people have been getting Brutal Strike because it's really good for burst, but that's it. Like the way I see it as I really like Abattoir the most because when you die, it's like you can come back and team. Whoops, clicked it really fast, but at 7, I feel like the only two things you can actually choose is Abattoir or Brutal Strike, and I like Abattoir a lot more because not only does it make it so you have 15% extra auto attack damage, it's you only lose half of your stacks when you die. So like right when you come back, you can still fight. You don't have to worry about like losing 25% base damage and being a lot weaker. It's just like you lose 17 or 18 stacks and you're like, okay, I still have 18 left. Let's fight. And then Brutal Strike's really good if you need super burst. Like if you can only Q auto someone, that's the only thing you can get off on your E. Then Brutal Strike is obviously better. But overall, I like Abattoir more for like jungling and it, like team fighting. Just this one's just only better if you're only gonna get off 1 Q auto. So usually this one stacks well if I have Flail Axe. If I'm not getting any autos, like I'm just like literally I can just get I only need as much burst as possible. Then I'll get Brutal Strikes. At 10, Lambs and Slaughter is actually pretty weak because it not only does it have a delay on the cast, it can be cleansed. And the main weakness is like every healer having cleanse. It's not worth it. I prefer Furnace Blast. Furnace Blast actually has huge burst. And we'll toggle minions really quick. And the thing about Furnace Blast is like you got to play with it for a bit because you need a it has a 3 second cast or it has a 3 second delay. So like you have to use it like if you're in a bush and then you have to wait and then go. Like if you don't time it correctly, it either one will go off too late or it won't go off fast enough. At 13, now this is there's two choices you can have. The choice usually is Spell Shield because he is pretty well. He's it's not that he's squishy. Like he has pretty good HP. At 20, he has like almost 5k HP. But the problem is he has no escape and no damage mitigation. So usually you get Spell Shield if you have someone that can like a Tirana that can follow up stun. But like if you don't have any of that, like you don't have any help. You only have like a one cleanse and you have to chase down the target and get the kill no matter what, then I would recommend Crave Fletch, which is 30% move speed when you double someone, so it's a lot easier to chase. It's a lot better for 1v1ing and small skirmishes than Spell Shield. Spell Shield is only good if you're getting blown up or poked. And then Savage Charge is, if it was max HP, I would recommend this with the level 4 talent, but because it's current HP, it's not nearly as good. And then Burning Rage is just pretty bad. So we'll get the run speed for now. And then at 16, with Abattoir, Blood Frenzy scales the best because you get 35% attack speed. So if you ever have Abattoir, I think Blood Frenzy is the best. Enrage isn't bad at all. Receiving damage that reduces you below 50% of your max HP causes you to become enraged for 10 seconds. You gain 40% attack speed and reduce the duration of slows, stuns, silences, roots against you while enraged. See, the thing is, right, is like you only gain 40% attack speed, and Blood Frenzy with Abattoir, you're gonna have 35% attack speed every single time you're fighting, as long as you have stacks. So, I prefer Blood Frenzy over Enrage. Considering every hero has Cleanse now, I don't think you need the 75% reduction because it only happens when you're at 50%, so you're already almost dying because you have no like dash, getaways, or anything. And not just that, even with Spell Shield, it's not like Spell Shield will apply when you're at 50% usually. If it does happen, it's really rare. And then for Cripping Slow, it's really strong because it scales well with these two talents, the 1 and 4. It makes it so that your chase is a lot better, but I feel like with the power in Butcher is Blood Frenzy, just being able to attack really fast, and with that you can backdoor because he has the highest basic attack in the game, I'm pretty sure. So when you have Blood Frenzy, you can just like backdoor anytime you like get a kill. As long as someone's like tanking a keep, you'll kill a keep, or like you'll kill a core for sure. So I really recommend Blood Frenzy. These two are okay in certain situations, but my go-to is Blood Frenzy. And then at 20, the only thing that's you have to get Bolt pretty much, especially because he's such a hard initiator. So like I really like Bolt, and the best thing about Bolt, right, is like if you get a kill, like go on someone, get a kill, and then you can just blink out, right? Like that's the main thing. You actually have some sort of disengage, which I feel like Butcher needs. The other talents like Nexus Blade, I don't think you really need it because your Q already slows, and then it does give you 20% more damage, but you're already doing 35% with Abattoir, so it's not like crazy good. It's just like, oh wow, I have extra damage and I can slow some of my autos, but like if you're CC'd or anything, it's not like you'll catch up to the target. And then for the only other choice I could see is Furnace of Hell, because our Fires of Hell is because with level 20, if you're ahead of them and they're not even going to be close to 20, and you get 2 ults and no one has blinks and it will actually go off in melee range, like doing 1,000 damage times 2, no one will be able to be like, I'll be able to kill tanks, you know, like I could just go on a tank and then just be like, just melee the shit out of them, and then with double ult doing 1,000 damage, he would die for sure. Like, but as you can see with the slow, like I can't really chase them. I have blink, but this is like the level 16 talent would help me by catching. And another thing about E is if you ever do it like a bad E, you can just spam E and then cancel it. After a second, it makes it so you can cancel it. So like, don't be afraid to cancel it if like let's say you do it on a Vala and then like he's running away, and then you're like, oh no, you just cancel it and get out. The thing is too, you're unstoppable when you charge, so like make sure that when you cancel it, if you're gonna get CC'd, like wait a quarter second before you cancel it if you know CC is coming out or not. Unless you're just way out of position, then don't worry about it. Another thing you can do too with blink is like, because your ult is a timer, so like let's say I'm hiding in a bush, like let's say this is a bush and you have ult, you can literally blink on top of someone and then get your ult off guaranteed, instead of just Eing in where they have a chance to react. I think that's pretty much for talent wise, I think that's all I can think of right now. Like Q build is okay. I think this build is better. I usually get Spell Shield majority of the time, but W build, as you can see, is really good at chasing because you just get a lot of extra run speed, so you can orb walk really well. And then at 4, if you have Tyrande or Jaina, then it's really good to have the Unrelenting Pursuit, so that you have more chase with your cooldown, because it will go to 12 instead of 20, which is 40%, which is a lot. It's the difference of getting 2 charges off compared to 1, or being able to re-engage when there's stun/blizzards back up. And then I'm gonna talk about what the biggest counters to Butcher is. I would say the biggest counters Butcher has at the moment is Uther's really good against Butcher, because not only does he have Cleanse, he has Divine Shield, so you can't do damage to the target. And then high mobility is a good counter against Butcher too, because his W is the only tank he has to attack a target. So like if the target can get away from him, he's not getting any HP back, so he actually dies pretty quick because he has no escape. Like let's say if I have the W mob, I'm not healing at all, I'm gonna die. So that's one of his weaknesses, and sometimes you can't W the target you want, so you have to switch to a tank, and then switching to a tank and then attacking him makes it so that you're not doing damage to the target you want and you're just trying to survive. So big counters to him is Muradin, because he has a stun and a 50% slow on his attack speed, which wrecks him a lot. And then blinds in general, like Lily blind and Johanna blind, is really annoying considering like 2 or 3 autos will heal me a lot. But if they use blind right when I use my W and I'm low HP, I'll just die. And another thing too is like because it has to be on a target and it only works on autos, that it's hard to get HP back. The thing is, right, is if it made it so all damage done to him healed you for more, then you're all like he would be a lot better because you could like Furnace Blast, get a huge heal, then Hamstring would heal you. It'd be like you get a good chunk of HP. He'd be like really hard to kill, but because it's not like that, the biggest counters are like Muradin, Johanna, tank wise because of CC and blind. And then Uther is another big counter because anytime you go on someone, he has Cleanse and Divine Shield, which can wreck you. Especially if Uther's smart, like, and he sees you're hitting a tank and you're W autoing the tank. If he Divine Shields the tank, you're literally just gonna die. You have no survivability. You just like walk away slowly, hope you don't die. And then I'd say the strongest combos with him is I would say Uther because Divine Shield, it just makes you be able to run like rampant really well. Rhaegar's really good because he has such high burst and sustain healing, and he has his own cleanse, so like you don't have to worry about being chain CC'd. And then aggressive early game comps, I would say you're definitely biggest heroes that can combo with you is Tyrande, because not only does she have a heal, her passive, her trait Mark will give you 25% damage, and that will actually help your burst a lot, especially with once you hit 10. Making your ult do 25% more damage is a huge burst, and not just that, when your E, it's a 1-second stun, so as long as she has the level 7 range talent, she can always follow up on her stun, so it's a combo. You land your E, she throws her stun, she marks, you have Furnace. It's pretty much almost a one-shot on any squishy. There's nothing they can do without a cleanse or divine shield or a shield, pre-heal, everything, so really good with Tyrande. Another hero he's really good with is Jaina, because Jaina has a slow, so it's easy for him to stay on the target. And not just that, Jaina has really high burst, and if you hold someone in target for 1 second and she lands a full blizzard hit with 2 hits, and then her EQ, she has super high burst, so you'll be able to kill a target that way too. And not just that, and anytime someone's slowed, it's really easy just to Ruthless Onslaught them and then catch them out of position. And then while they're slowed, it's like a permanent 35% if she gets the talent at level 1. So it really helps Butcher catching up with people and staying on them. That way you can pick up Spell Shield instead of Crave Flash for the run speed. And then I'd say the heroes he's really strong against too are heroes that have immobility, like Zagara, who else? Kael'thas, Jaina, Tyrande, Malfurion pre-13 before Ice Block. So like he's really good against those type of heroes that like if out of position they just die. So even Tychus he's pretty good against because his dash is so small range that you can always chain this CC combo, especially now that there's no like unstoppable and skills like that. Falstad and Vala and Sylvanas he's not as good against because when you go on them they won't be here, they'll like be a little further back, and Sylvanas becomes invulnerable so she can actually E your E. And then with Vala and Falstad, if you're doing a max E and they're running away and they get their thing, you might not even get the stun because while you're charging someone it doesn't like there's a timer on it, so like if they go far away enough, if it's a max distance E, you won't get the stun off. And then I could say the biggest strength Butcher has though is that he scales really well until about 20 because Blink kind of counters him more than it gives him an advantage. And then I'd say once you have stacks, like 25 stacks, especially at level 7, he's super strong, and then he peaks like at 7 or at 10. Once you're 10, I feel like that's the strongest you'll get him in the game. So if you don't win early game with him, then it will be hard to win later team fights unless they just don't have enough damage to kill you. And that's all for on Butcher and talking about where I think he is currently and what heroes I think are strong with him. Appreciate everyone watching the video. I'll see you guys later.